Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Cassie Beckley and I will be the clerk for this subcommittee meeting. I'm pleased to welcome you to this meeting of the subcommittee. I will take the subcommittee through the first three agenda items. If anyone intends on recording the public proceedings of the meeting, please can you make this known now, as this is not to prevent you from doing it, but to ensure all parties are aware. Is anyone intending on recording? Okay. So item one is apologies. There are no apologies. Item two, are there any substitute members, which there are not. And item three is election of chairman. So if we can have a nomination for a chairman, please.
I propose Councillor Millam.
Sorry, was that Councillor Millam, did
Yes.
you say? And can I have a seconder, please?
I second the motion.
Is your microphone working there, Councillor Nagy?
Testing, yep.
Yep, great, thank you.
So, thank you. As chairman, I will ask if there are any disclosures by members and officers.
No, Chair.
No, Chairman.
And have any members been lobbied?
No.
No.
Thank you. I intend to take item 7, application for a premises licence under the Licensing Act 2003 for the Boat and Bean Riverside Cafe, Bowbridge, Wateringbury, Kent, ME185ED in public. Is this agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Thank you. So, item 7, application for a premises licence under the Licensing Act 2003 for Boat and Bean Riverside Cafe. Please note there was an urgent update to this item circulated on Monday 19th of January 2026 to include additional materials. I will now ask that all persons participating in this morning's hearing identify themselves, starting with the members of the subcommittee.
Councillor Val Springett, and I'm the ward member for Bearsted and Downswood.
Councillor Mark Nagy for Grove Green and Vinces Park.
And I'm Councillor Kimberly Millam for Fanton Oakwood Ward. And our legal advisor.
Hello, I don't have a nameplate today. I'm Helen Ward. I'm the legal advisor to the committee today.
Hello, I'm Cassie and I'm the committee clerk for the meeting.
Good morning, I'm Lorraine Neal, I'm the Senior Licensing Officer.
And we have our representative of the applicant. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Daisy Webb.
And I'm Lee Webster.
Thank you so much. Can I ask that all parties confirm that they've received a copy and are aware of the subcommittee hearing procedure? The subcommittee will allow all parties to put their case fully and make submissions to the panel within a reasonable timeframe. The procedure would take the form of a discussion led by the subcommittee. Any persons in attendance behaving in a disruptive manner may be directed to leave the meeting, including temporarily, after which such person would... sorry, I've just lost my place. Such person may submit to the subcommittee in writing any information which that person would have been entitled to give orally had the person not been required to leave the meeting. If this is not possible, they may be allowed to speak at the chairman's invitation. I will now ask all the subcommittee members confirm that they have pre-read all the papers and other documentation regarding the hearing.
I have.
I have to.
Thank you so much. So, Lorraine Neal, Senior Licensing Officer, will now briefly outline the application.
Good morning all. Members are being asked to consider and determine this application for a premise licence for the Boat and Bean Riverside Cafe, Bowbridge, Wateringbury, Kent, ME18 5ED. The application has been submitted by Boat and Bean Limited. The premises previously held a licence which lapsed following the death of the licence holder, and so the applicant now seeks a new licence. The activities and hours applied for can be found in the table at page 1 of the report and the application form attached as Appendix 1. The application was correctly advertised in the press and on-site notices for the statutory 28-day period. All responsible authorities were consulted. There are no outstanding responsible authority representations. Kent Police initially submitted representations but withdrew them on the 24th of December 2025 after agreeing a comprehensive set of conditions with the applicant, which are attached as Appendix 5 and 6 of the report. One representation from an other person, Mr T Collins, has been received and not withdrawn. That's attached as Appendix 3. The applicant has agreed to extensive conditions, including CCTV, Challenge 25, safety measures, staff training, risk assessment and noise management. And as previously mentioned, have also submitted additional supporting materials which were circulated to all parties on the 19th of January 2025 and published on the Council's website on the 20th of January 2025. Members must determine the application on its merits, taking into account the evidence presented, relevant policy and statutory guidance, the 4 licensing objectives. The options available to you are grant the licence as applied for, grant the licence with modified additional conditions, exclude any licensable activities, refuse to specify the designated premises supervisor, reject the application in whole or in part. Thank you.
Thank you. Do any of the panel members wish to ask any questions?
Could I just clarify who you are in relation to this application? Because the application is for Boat and Bean, but I don't know who you are in relation to that. I'm just trying to find it in the papers. So are you the proprietor? Are you the directors of Boat and Bean? Are you... I don't know.
So I'm Daisy's mum's partner, husband, and Daisy's our daughter. So we took it as a family concern. Yeah, Daisy's going to be front of house. So, yeah.
Lovely, thank you. Sorry, it sounds really silly, but I couldn't actually find the names in the papers, so
Sorry.
I just wanted to clarify exactly who was what, so it wasn't... Thank you.
The representatives for the applicant, Daisy Webb and Lee Webster, will now be invited to make their case.
So, first of all, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to come here today. I would like to respond to the objections made, specifically in relation to public nuisance, public safety and the protection of children from harm, and explain why I believe this application can be granted in a responsible and proportionate way. First of all, prevention of public nuisance. Concerns have been raised regarding live music 7 days a week from 8 AM to 11 PM and the potential for noise nuisance. I can assure you that live music will not be played from these hours 7 days a week. However, we have applied for these times each day to prevent us from gaining a competitive disadvantage compared to the businesses in the surrounding areas. As well as this, I've been made aware that businesses shall only be granted up to 15 tens annually. Therefore, by having a live music licence under our premises licence means that we are able to maximise the potential that our facility has to offer. Previously, this premises was a fully licensed restaurant, where no issues regarding public nuisance nor the 4 licensing objectives. I would now like to refer you to the reference from Darren Evans, the son of the current landlady and the previous owner of the restaurant, which confirms this. If you've read it already, don't stress. As well as our premises, there's also been no issues with comparable local businesses, including the Railway Pub, which is surrounded by residential buildings closer to the local primary school. The railway is also on higher grounds than the Boat and Bean. The Boat and Bean, our premises, is only neighbouring one local resident, Sue Franklin Howe, who we have received a supporting statement from. So again, if you've read it, it's all good. The Licensing Act also requires no evidence of a likely nuisance nor speculative or hypothetical concerns. The Licensing Act also requires evidence of a likely nuisance, not speculative or hypothetical concerns. Noise can be effectively managed through appropriate and enforceable licence conditions. I am fully prepared to operate within proportionate controls that are in line with comparable businesses, including limits on days and hours of live music, noise management measures, and cooperation with the Environmental Health Agency. Our aim for our live music licence is to responsibly operate our cafe bar with controlled entertainment to enhance the local community without undermining the surrounding residents' quality of life. The next section will be public safety. So concerns have also been raised regarding alcohol consumption, the proximity of the river, and the possibility of large numbers of people attending the premises. Firstly, the proposed hours of alcohol sales do not mean continuous or excessive drinking. Our main need for a licence beginning at 7 AM is for the spring to summer months, when we will be working closely with our local community on the river, River Medway Canoes, Bow Marina and Medway Wharf Marina. We will be supplying hampers to river users, e.g. motorboat users and hirers, containing a beverage of their choice where they have the option of choosing an alcoholic drink. However, all hampers that will include alcoholic beverages will also contain food. This cafe-led operation with alcohol served responsibly and in a controlled environment, staff will be adequately trained, refusals will be made where appropriate, and the premises will operate Challenge 25 and maintain incident logs. We will be implementing public safety measures that will include 24-hour CCTV that will be kept for 30 days, and all CCTV footage will be accessible to staff at all times and regularly monitored in all areas. Clear signage emphasising that children must be supervised at all times, as well as adequate lighting for their outdoor seating areas. There will also be a safe, family-friendly seating area that will be fenced off away from the river to protect young children and families. In relation to the river, as our outside seating runs through a public footpath, our operation gives no evidence that the river will be an increased risk to the public beyond normal access to the river. Any outdoor events or increased footfall can be managed through conditions including capacity limits and restricted hours. I am willing to work closely with the licensing authority to ensure public safety and safeguarding of children is maintained at all times. The next section will be on parking concerns. Parking concerns have also been mentioned. I would respectfully remind the committee that parking is not a licensing objective under the Act. While I understand local pressures, these matters fall within the remit of highways and planning authorities rather than licensing. The premises do not present a unique or exceptional parking risk when compared to other lawful businesses in the area. However, in relation to our parking area, we do offer a set car park for staff, and there is a small customer car park. As well as our car parks, the local area offers free parking in the train station car park. Although our main custom is by foot from dog walkers and ramblers, for the small number of customers that will need parking, there is an option for them to do so. The next section will be on the rehabilitation centre. So a reference has been made in regards of the nearby rehabilitation centre. Again, the Licensing Act does not allow applications to be refused due to a presence of a rehabilitation facility. Each application must be considered on its own merits, and there is no evidence that a responsibly run cafe would undermine the rehabilitation efforts, yet instead set a clear example on how to manage drinking responsibly. To support this statement, we also have a reference from the head of resettlement at Kenwood Trust, Michael Bourne, who stated, "The Boat and Bean Cafe represents an opportunity to provide a safe, inclusive environment where responsible behaviour is modelled and excessive drinking is not encouraged." And then the last section will be protection of children from harm. Concerns have been raised about children being present near the river and the potential for increased visitor numbers. Children already have access to this area, regardless of the premises. A managed, staffed environment may in fact enhance the safety for increased supervision. We at the Boat and Bean are committed to providing a family-friendly setting with clear boundaries, staff oversight, and an appropriate layout to ensure children are safeguarded at all times. Along with responsible management, that we will ensure the premises remain safe and suitable for families. Previously, we held a Christmas light switch on under a temporary event licence, which was risk assessed safely and safely managed, and was enjoyed by many families and young children in the local area. This event ran smoothly alongside the sale of alcohol and is a strong piece of evidence of how we abide by the 4 licensing objectives at the Boat and Bean. In conclusion, all the concerns raised are largely speculative and can be adequately addressed through proportionate enforceable licence conditions. We have already demonstrated clear willingness to work with the responsible authorities and accept conditions that promote all 4 licensing objectives. With reference to Appendix 9, Article 1 of Protocol 1, I have the right to the peaceful enjoyment of my property and livelihood as the owner of a cafe. This includes the reasonable use of a premises licence that supports a lawfully run cafe on the premises that was previously a fully licensed restaurant. Therefore, we kindly ask the committee to grant this premises licence subject to any appropriate conditions it considers necessary. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do any of the panel members wish to ask any questions of the applicant?
First of all, well done. That was an excellent presentation. So, and if you did it yourself, I'm very impressed. Just out of interest, have you got an idea in your head of how often you might do live music? Will it be sort of Sunday afternoons in the summer or evenings, or have you got any idea how often you might do that?
So it's not going to be very regular at all. So, for example, when we open, we think it would be nice to welcome everyone down to the shop, maybe have like a little band going outside. But day to day, it's not going to be crazy down there. It's not going to be a festival every month. But on the odd occasion, there may be some music, a band playing, maybe an open mic night here and there, but nothing crazy. Yeah.
We don't plan in having DJs and that type of, we want it to be a family orientated. We don't want it to be a pub where there's blokes turning up boozing and music pumping out. That's far from the environment we're trying to create. We want it to be family orientated, people that want to come and sit and relax, and they don't want pumping music, maybe a little background music while they're sitting watching the river go by, that type of environment. So that's
Thank you. Before this hearing's closure, I will invite the representatives for the... Apologies.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to clarify one point you made regarding CCTV, and it may be I misheard, so apologies if I did. You said that it would retain for 30 days. The proposed condition with the police is for 31 days. Is it because obviously if the license is granted and it's a condition, you'd need to comply with that condition. So is it 30 or 31? Just so we can 31. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you for that. So, before this hearing's closure, I will invite the representatives for the applicant, Daisy Webb and Lee Webster, to make their closing remarks. May I ask the subcommittee members if they have any final questions for any party present? No? Okay. So, Helen, can you confirm whether there are any further matters to be raised or resolved before this meeting hearing is closed?
Nothing further, thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. I now declare this hearing closed. The subcommittee members, accompanied by the legal advisor only, will now enter into a closed session to deliberate. The subcommittee will return to a closed session in...
I think maybe if the applicants wait downstairs, you can always just ask them to come up when the decision is ready.
Yeah, so we'll come down and get you once we're finished. Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon. We weren't that long. Jeez. Good morning, and thank you for waiting whilst the subcommittee deliberated. As chair, I would like to announce that the subcommittee have decided this be granted with the conditions proposed as set out on pages 4 to 6. All parties to the hearing will receive a copy of the written determination notice regarding the subcommittee's determination. So this hearing is now formally closed. Thank you so much.